A lot of you probably don't even know what's in these boxes. Post your honest guesses in the comments, and if you really did know, tell me that too. These little cases used to be very common. Inside are slides, and now you might be thinking, what the heck are slides? These are a vintage film format that allowed you to project your photos onto a huge screen so you could share them with friends and family way back before the internet. Lots of us have inherited boxes of slides from our parents or grandparents, but the machines you need to view them are hard to find. Enter HP, which has created a small portable machine that more easily allows you to not just view this vintage photography treasure trove, but to scan them to digital as well, so you can more easily enjoy and share them. I'm Erin from Tech Gadgets International, and I recently had the opportunity to review HP's touchscreen film scanner, and it couldn't have come at a better time. I inherited a box of old family slides, and I wanted to go through them to see if there were any gems in there worth keeping. So I'll share my experience using this film scanner. I'll tell you what it's like to use and how it works, the different film types it will work with, since you can use it with more than just slides. I'll wrap things up with both the pros and the cons of this device so you can see if it might be right for you. A quick thank you to HP for gifting me the device so I could test it out over several weeks, though the company had no input into my review. Inside the box, you'll find the HP FilmScan 5-inch touchscreen film scanner, which is model HPFS500. There's also a USB-C data cable, which also powers the unit. There are also 4 plastic pieces shaped kind of like ladders, which is where you'll load your film, negatives, or 50 by 50 millimeter slides. There's options for 135, 110, and 126 film. Also included in here is a cleaning brush and user manual. Now, also required is an SD memory card, which is not included in the box. Hook up the scanner by connecting the power and the data cable from the scanner to your computer or to an AC plug, then press the power button to turn it on. You should be greeted with a simplified home screen, and if this is your first time using it, you will need to choose your language, then you're ready to roll. Think of the HP FilmScan as kind of a mini computer that features both the scanning hardware and that 5-inch touchscreen display. On the top is a physical power button and the larger scanning button. At the back, you'll find the Type-C USB connector for powering the device, and that's where your SD card slot is, which is essential for storing your scanned photos. The largest bracket or adapter that comes with the device is meant to hold 50 by 50 millimeter slides, and it's also going to serve as your holder for other smaller adapters. Each of the smaller adapters fits into the larger case easily. If you are having trouble opening it, just look for the black arrow, which should be along the bottom, and then lift and pull it a bit to open. Now, I inherited a large box of 50 millimeter slides from some relatives, so I'm going to be using my scanner here to digitize some of those slides. Once properly positioned, you should be able to close the slide holder and hear a click once you've inserted a slide in here or some film. The right side of the FilmScan device has a slot with an arrow indicator, and all you need to do is slide in the holder with the white arrows aligned. Once you've loaded the machine, you'll tap the capture button. This will take you to the next screen where you'll need to make some choices, and it will remember your last settings. First, tell it what type of film you're using. Next, you'll choose the size of the image. I had no idea what size to choose and couldn't find any markings on my old slides, so I just selected the middle option, which is 110. The last choice is to choose your final image resolution. You can capture it in lower resolution 13 megapixels or higher res 22 megapixels. You'll see some options along both the left and the right-hand side. The right panel allows you to change the film type, size, and resolution if needed, and it shows the memory card status as well. The left panel allows you to perform basic edits, including brightness, contrast, and color. Don't expect Adobe Lightroom levels of customization here, but it is nice that you can adjust things a little bit right on the device. Once you're happy with what you see on the screen, you can press the large scan button on top, and it'll save it to the SD card as a JPEG. I was actually extremely impressed with how quickly it captures and saves. It really takes just a second per image, and then you can move on to the next. While the scanning seems fairly straightforward and it works, I did notice a few additional steps and some concerns right away, and one of those concerns has to do with how you get the finished images from your scanner here to your computer. I realized you can't scan photos directly to your computer even if you are connected to it for power. You have to save them to your SD card first. This is because the USB upload option on the home screen basically transforms your FilmScan into an SD card storage device, where the FilmScan will appear as a removable drive on your computer once it's connected with that cable and when you enable it. So when you are ready to upload the images you've captured to your computer, hit the back button on the FilmScan's touchscreen to return to the main menu. This time you'll choose USB upload, and once you see a message that says the connection has been successful, you can go to your computer file browser and look for the device. On my MacBook, it always shows up as an untitled connected device. Open up those folders and you should be able to view your images. At this stage, you can copy, send, print, or do whatever you want with them. Although this might seem like a couple extra steps, it actually worked really well and it was quite seamless. You can also simply view everything stored on the SD card by going back to the main menu and choosing Gallery. This also lets you delete any duplicates or subpar scans. The second thing that becomes obvious very quickly is that this is a rather monotonous task you must do one at a time. With 50mm slides, you can't really view more than one of them at a time, so if you've got a whole box of slides like I do, you will be spending a lot of time scanning them. As I can attest, this is incredibly time-consuming. Fortunately, you can sort of fashion a simple feeder out of the tray by leaving it in place in the machine, sliding one of your slides in, and then using another slide to push it into place. In this way, you can gain some speed in the viewing and capturing process. The HP FilmScan has another limitation that isn't mentioned on the official product page, but according to the user manual, FilmScan only supports SD cards with up to 128 gigabytes of memory. The manual goes on to say that even the more modern SDXC cards might also be incompatible. Overall, being the first film scanner I've ever reviewed on the channel, all I can say is if you are working with a lot of film or slides, the HP FilmScan HPFS500 will definitely save you some hassle and probably some money by not having to take a box of slides to some vintage transfer specialist, which is great, but your trade-off will be your time. While this device may seem rather manual and time-consuming, it's actually extremely effective. Let's go over both the pros and the cons of this film scanner so you can see if it might be right for you. On the pro side, it's relatively compact and it contains all the options you need for digitizing a variety of older film formats. The built-in viewing screen is incredibly handy, and the fact it draws USB power from either a computer or plug means you can use it almost anywhere. I appreciate the options to view, scan, and adjust the image sizing, not to mention making some minor editing tweaks right on the screen. Once you get into a rhythm, it's actually quite easy to get a little conveyor belt of slides gliding through the scanner plate. I appreciate that I can also view everything that's on the memory card, and by switching to USB upload mode, I can transfer all the images straight to my computer for sharing. It also captures each image relatively quickly. So what are the potential downsides? It will only capture one image at a time, and there's no option to transfer the image wirelessly to a phone or other device. And although I didn't run into this during my testing, larger format memory cards might not work with it. In short, this has become an amazing tool for me to view and capture family heirlooms that I can share. If you are also the keeper of older film memorabilia, this will definitely be a boon for you too. I can absolutely recommend the HP FilmScan for you. It sells for about $229 US or $349 Canadian, and you can get it from Amazon. And if you're interested in preserving your photographic memories, I have reviewed several helpful gadgets. Take a look at a mini photo printer or see something that will print more traditional 3x5 inch photos on real paper right now.